Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Editor coming at you with a little video about the episode of Smackdown that happened on June 27th, 2025. Night of Champions is actually like less than 12 hours away from the time of me recording this. The time this is going to be posted, Night of Champions will be like 6 hours away. They're in Saudi Arabia, so that's why it's like earlier and it's not in the evening times, but yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to watch it live, so I'm really scared of running into spoilers. I'm just going to have to not look at my phone, I guess. But we're not talking about Night of Champions just yet. We're talking about Smackdown. And this episode of Smackdown, if you can tell by the title, I wasn't too happy with this episode as a whole. Now, I will say there was a couple things that I really liked in this episode. As a whole, this episode was just... it was a drag to get through. It was pretty boring. And I was just ready for it to go ahead and wrap up. But like I said, there is a couple little things we'll talk about that I did enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like this episode? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Or let me know some of the segments you liked or disliked in the comments below. We're going to move on into this. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my favorite part of the night, which was the very end of it, the last like 10 minutes of the show. One of the GOATs, or two of the GOATs, John Cena and CM Punk, share a segment together. But first, John Cena makes his entrance, comes out to the ring, stands there for a little while, lets everybody know he's the last real champion, calls CM Punk a loser, cuts a tiny little promo here, just a few words, and then all of a sudden, Basic Thugonomics by John Cena, the theme song, back whenever he was the rapper gimmick, starts playing. And it's CM Punk, Punk Life, as what was written on the big ass like screen they got over there in Saudi. Comes out and he's got the rings on, but instead of saying word life, it says drug free, which is the tattoos on his fingers. And he comes out there in a Chicago Cubs jersey and also has a Chicago Bulls hat on. Pretty cool. I mean, obviously, you know, CM Punk is from Chicago, so that's why he chose those teams. Comes out there and he delivers like a freestyle promo, reminiscent to when John Cena was the Doctor of Thugonomics. Kind of doing that. You could call this cringe if you want. I actually enjoyed this. I thought it was hilarious. There was a couple times CM Punk kind of like stumbled over his words a little bit, and that just added to how funny it was for me. He said a couple good things there. A lot of references to past feuds and stuff with John Cena there. John Cena didn't say a single word, unfortunately. I wanted these guys to have at least one more serious promo together before this confrontation at Night of Champions, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to get that. Now, are these guys going to continue the feud after this? Probably not immediately. I feel like CM Punk's going to lose, go away for a while, and then let's say come SummerSlam, maybe CM Punk comes back, and I don't know. I don't want this to be the end of their little thing here. You don't always get what you want, so we'll see. We're only just a little over halfway through John Cena's last year, so there is a there's a possibility these two guys could come face to face again. And this was the second time whenever they're playing CM Punk's song that they zoom in on John Cena's face when Living Color says, "Only you can set me free." Now, say I'm reaching. I think they're doing that for cinematic purposes. And I think it's really cool because CM Punk is one of those guys that definitely could be the one that frees John Cena away from this heel stuff. CM Punk is like the number one choice, I think, in my opinion. But who knows? I'm just rambling on about other stuff. That's all I really have to say about that segment. We're going to move on to the rest of the show. The show opens up with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton cutting a promo with each other, talking about Night of Champions. Tomorrow is the finals match and all that stuff. But the thing is, I guess the cameras messed up and they couldn't even get the shots right. The cameras are waving around all kind of crazy like, and they said there was like technical issues. There was a lot of technical issues tonight. Michael Cole calling people the wrong names, which that's not a technical issue. That's just a Michael Cole character trait at this point. Mike's cutting out and the cameras being weird. At least the stream I watched. Solid little promo here though. These two guys talked for a second, and that was about it. And then we had a match between Jimmy Uso and JC Mateo. Whatever, it was a whatever match. JC Mateo went over thanks to a distraction from Solo Sikoa. They start beating the hell out of Jimmy after that because he said no to Solo and slapped him in the face. He's not coming back to the family. Jacob Fatu comes out there and helps him out, and they both kind of beat both of them up, and then they kind of run away. And looking forward to the match tomorrow, or actually today, whatever, for Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. We had a match between Julia and Zelina Vega. This match was It was okay. And surprisingly, Julia won, and it was for the United States title, the Women's United States title. And Julia is now your new U.S. Female Women's Champion, which is cool and all. The title did change hands. I kind of wish this was a Night of Champions thing, but whatever. You remember when it used to be on Night of Champions, every single championship was defended? Yeah, those were nice days. There was a backstage segment with Jesse Pinkman talking to the two GMs. R-Truth walks in there, and he's basically saying, hey, where the hell's John Cena? I want to fight John Cena. He leaves, and then Jesse Pinkman kind of follows him. I know his name's Aleister Black, but I'm sorry. He's just Jesse Pinkman to me in my head. That was the end of that little backstage segment. We had Asuka and Jade Cargill share the ring together and speak to each other. And they talk for a little while, and Naomi comes out there and says, hey, I'm Miss Money in the Bank. I could cash in on y'all, you know, if you win the title or in your title match come SummerSlam. You know, this, that, and the third. All of a sudden, things get physical. Jade Cargill hits Naomi off the ring apron, and then Asuka hits Jade Cargill, and Asuka ultimately goes over in this little confrontation here. I'm assuming Jade Cargill is going to win the Queen of the Ring and probably get cashed in on by Naomi at SummerSlam. I hope Naomi is not going to be the first one to lose it. That would actually suck. I really want her to successfully cash in and get the championship. We had a match it was a tag match, Andrade and Rey Fenix versus DIY. I did not care about this. Andrade and Rey Fenix won. There you go. That's all I have to say about that. R-Truth comes back out there basically saying, hey, John Cena, get your ass out here. Jesse Pinkman shows back up and hits R-Truth with his finisher. This is one thing that I absolutely hated. We're already burying R-Truth, and he's not even done much of anything since the character change, and this is kind of forcing him back down to the mid-card. So hopefully it's just a squash match against Aleister next week or something, and they get this over with, because this is just dumb. There was the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six for the Tag Team Championships. I did not care about this. It was lackluster. It ends with like every SmackDown Tag Team, the most boring division I've ever seen in my life, going at it against everybody. And it ends in disqualification, so the titles don't even change hands. The Street Profits are still your Tag Team Champions. And yeah, so that's that. This match right here, one of the highlights of the night, Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. Last women standing match, which is something that they don't really do too often. This match was pretty good. There was a lot of tables being broken, weapons being used. Naomi does try to come out there and cash in, but they did not let that happen. I believe it was Tiffany Stratton grabs the briefcase out of her hand, starts beating her with it, and then she also knocks Nia Jax off the ring apron, put her through 2 tables, and then Nia Jax stays down for the whole 10 seconds, and therefore Tiffany Stratton is still your WWE Women's Champion. So yeah, that was pretty much it for the whole show. Nothing else for me to really say besides I really hate what they're doing with R-Truth. I think that's kind of BS. I like the Jacob Fatu segment, the match with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. Sorry for hitting this damn keyboard. It's probably really annoying. And the CM Punk segment. Everything else was, I'm so excited for next week because it's going to be 2 hours instead of 3, and we really need that when it comes to SmackDown. Raw can be too long sometimes, but at least where they're on Netflix over there, these guys can like end it early if they want or go a little longer if they need to. So yeah, with SmackDown they just have an agreement with the cable company, so they have to hit the 3-hour mark, and you can tell they're kind of scrambling for shit to do sometimes on these episodes. But luckily next week, this was the final 3-hour SmackDown in I can't remember, Riyadh? Is that how you say that? No, Riyadh. Sorry, dude. And tomorrow is Night of Champions, or here in about 6 hours after this video is uploaded. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, drop it a like. If you did not, drop it a dislike. If you guys want to see more videos like this, hit the sub button. We'll see more. Other than all that stuff, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Your arms are just too short to box with God.